sunrise, new day's dawning, and it's calling you and me, where the mighty Mississippi flows by Memphis, Tennessee. We've got woodlands, fields, and water. Hey, there is no better way. You can find out all about it on Outdoors with Larry Ray. Make some time, take the family, ask a friend, but don't delay. Listen up and learn about it on Outdoors with Larry Ray. Listen up and learn about it on Outdoors with Larry Ray.
Good Saturday morning and welcome to another edition of the award-winning Outdoors with Larry Ray. Brought to you proudly by Sportsman's Warehouse and the Tennessee Wildlife Resources Agency. Now, here's your host, Larry Ray.
Hey, good Saturday morning. Welcome to Outdoors with Larry Ray as we've rolled into our 19th year on the air on this October the 12th. My goodness, it's finally got some weather, then it got warm, and now it's going to get cool. Should be a cool morning for all you folks out there who are taking part in the archery season still going on in Tennessee, and I can't wait to a couple of weeks, and we'll be out there with black powder. But this is second Saturday, but there is a change, okay? Of course, that Ron Wong is here.
I am here. Good morning, everybody.
Never want to take Ron for granted because he's really not here a lot of time. I don't mean that as that's just expression, but he's not here a lot because he's on the road.
I'm here all the time spiritually.
Spiritually, you are there, and you recognize that voice. And, of course, this should be second Saturday. John Gordon should be with us from Ducks Unlimited, but John, and I haven't heard all the details other than I know he was in the Dakotas. But
he duck hunted too hard.
Yes, he duck hunted too hard, and you know that's not John's voice. John had gallbladder surgery, emergency gallbladder surgery. We were going to try to talk to him today, but he's still a little down. But we'll hook up with John. But filling in, as he is very capable of doing, is our man Bill Cooksey of Vanishing Paradise and part of the
National
Wildlife Federation. Yep. And we also have a special guest in the studio who is part of the Tennessee Wildlife Federation. Chris Hearn's over there with us. And good morning, Chris.
Good morning, Larry. Glad to be here.
Glad to have you because he's going to talk a little bit about Hunting and Fishing Academy. And Ron Wong is a 4-time graduate of that school. I don't know I don't know what the nickname of it is, but Ron spent 4 years there at the.
I flunked out.
Yeah, you did.
Yeah.
I know this is going to be fun to talk to Chris about the Hunting and Fishing Academy. He hadn't been on the job real long, but he is the new West Tennessee field representative for our good friends at the Tennessee Wildlife Federation. In fact, I talked to Mike and the gang up there, and I'm expecting to go on the payroll anytime soon because you guys have become a regular guest, it seems like. Butler can't get enough microphone, but
they have so much going on.
Yeah, the Hunters for the Hungry is going on. That's going on this, but I was really intrigued by the addition of not only Chris, but also over in East Tennessee. They have a new representative. And you're really going to like this Hunting and Fishing Academy because it's coming up with some dates here. But we'll talk to Chris as we go along. But we're going to talk a little bit about Around the Horn. We call it the Outdoor Horn, and this is a busy, busy time. I know Ron has been in between. He now has residency in 3 states and 2 foreign countries.
Probably about 5 or 6, 8 or 10 states.
Yeah, he was our man at the National
Bass Fishing
Hall of Fame, and last week up in Springfield at the wonderful Johnny Morris
Wonders of Wildlife.
Wildlife Museum.
I have to tell you, for those that have never been there,
I got to go.
I would encourage anybody and everybody to make a day of it. It takes, to do it right, it'll take 4 to 6 hours.
Yes,
to go through it, and because one, there's a lot, there's some things you want to read. There are videos, but there's so much live wildlife, fish. It's just absolutely amazing. And it starts out with the Native American portion of the museum talking about the Native Americans having to hunt and fish to survive. Really amazing. The artifacts that they have from those days. I'm talking 1700s.
Yes.
The arrows, the things that they use. It's absolutely amazing.
Well, we're going to talk with one of our favorite guys, and Ron set this up, David Fritz. He was a part of the 2019 inductee class, which also include several guys that we know very well.
Absolutely, yeah. Davey Height, who's on BASS Live broadcast,
Yes.
Professional angler. Mark Davis, classic winner, an AOY Angler of the Year guy, and
From
he
Mount
was there.
Ida, Arkansas.
Mount Ida, that's right.
And he and
just south of Hot Springs.
who else was from Mount Ida?
Oh, no.
Charlie Weaver.
That's right, Charlie
For those
Weaver.
of us old enough to remember Charlie Weaver,
Yep.
Cliff Arnett, but and also Ed Chambers and Chris Armstrong went in. Of course, we know Ed Chambers from his from many years with the
man that made Zoom.
He made Zoom, and then so we're going to talk to David on that, and I have to admit, you guys, because I can remember when I was out there at the Commercial Appeal, and I looked it up on this thing, and that I can remember those days when Gilbert Garnett. I went back and tried when his idea to create this National Bass Fishing Hall of Fame and bring it to Hot Springs.
Yep.
And that was the goal and raise the money. But, of course, when Johnny Morris just boosted it, and now it is what it is. And but I think back to those late years in 2007, I think it was, and that he was in there, and a lot of the other guys that came along. And Mark was part of that team, Mike Worm, Rob Kilby, those guys.
That's right.
But to see this happen, to come where it was, and our good old friend Sammy Lee, he was also one of the
that's right, yeah.
Tight Lines man himself.
Tight Lines, that's right.
And
Johnny Morris he has been instrumental in growing the outdoors to a lot of people. I mean, look at just what's happened this past week.
Yes, yeah.
Major League Fishing has bought FLW,
they
Fishing
have.
League Worldwide. And, of course, Johnny Morris is very involved with MLF. And
So that's going to be we're going to
big.
talk about that in a couple of weeks. Get back on that subject. That was the hottest news that came out of this week's. But at the same time, it's one of those times when everything seems to happen. Ron was at the great event in Hot Springs last weekend at Wally Marshall's Mr. Crappie Invitational. So we got the farmer. We got part of that championship team on with us later on. Tony Shepard, he and his brother Mike.
Yep.
Walked away with $40,000 and
Yep.
$100,000. That just blows my mind there. So we're going to talk to him at the end. And I'm really glad to get the Bass Angler of the Year on here, Scott Canterbury. What a story he's got. He's now in the Classic. And
yes, he
this
is.
is a guy that's ups and downs and
very humble man.
Very humble, my guy.
Number one. Number two, this is really, although he's not a rookie, this was his rookie season on the BASS Elite Tour. He came over from
FLW. He'd been
FLW.
for years.
He'd been there for many, many years and very, very successful.
Well, we're going to talk to him. He's fired up about it. Going to have a lot of fun. We got Bill in the studio with us. Many travels before he becomes an exile and starts going on the road.
I've got a lot on the road and some interesting things coming up.
New Orleans next week, I think you said.
Let's say here in a minute, I'm heading to the Pyramid to judge some duck calling contests.
Oh, the Oktoberfest.
Today, correct.
Oktoberfest, and you're one of the
Zink
judges.
and Ronquist and a bunch of those guys will be out there, and they asked me to come judge a few this morning.
Good. Okay.
So I'm out there, and then
That's this morning.
That's this morning.
Okay.
Thursday, I'm heading down to
wow.
Slidell, Louisiana, for a Conservation on Tap event. And that's basically where Folks can come. We give them a free beer, but they have to listen to some top-notch conservation and restoration
that's
people.
next week.
That's next Thursday.
Okay.
Week after that is CEOPA. And the week after that, I'll be in D.C. lobbying Alexander and the rest of our congressmen on Everglades
well, that's your job.
spending. That is my job.
You are the outreach sportsman
outreach coordinator.
Okay.
But I end up doing a lot of the national stuff, like the DC stuff, which is fun. But I want to mention something that has been going on because duck season's coming and people are talking and everyone's scared about what's happening with the migrations.
Yes.
And our friends at Express Boats are doing a great online video series right now with Jim Ronquist and then a bunch of the top wildlife biologists or waterfowl biologists in the country.
Really?
And they're releasing a couple every week, and they are talking about the status of waterfowl, and it is fascinating. I mean, some of these people
Express Boats, so you can
on
Google
Express
that.
Boats website.
Okay.
You can find them, and they're putting out a couple each week. They're short, no more than 15 minutes each, but it's great information for duck hunters.
It's good to talk about great information for duck hunters.
Hey, and then for those of you, this is outdoors.
Yes.
There's still tickets available to the Memphis Food and Wine Festival tonight at the Botanic Gardens. I'm going to be out there serving ribs. Come see me.
Oh, we almost got food out of the way, but I knew it would work.
We had to get it
Ron would work that in there.
Absolutely.
At the Botanic Gardens tonight. Look for Ron out there. Okay, because he's everywhere. All right, we're going to take a break. Come right back and talk to Chris Hearn out of Jackson, Tennessee. And the new man with the Hunting and Fishing Academy, where it says, learn the art of hunting and fishing. And I love the word art. I want to do that. Here's a guy trying to put up his ground. It looks like me right there on the cover. We'll be right back on Outdoors with Larry Ray.